You know.
All right.
Yep, we're good.
I think Craig's got us recording. Old
I think
bot
he does
Craig.
too. I think he does too.
Perfect.
All right, just a perfectly seamless transition. Welcome back to Three Different Ones. Still coming at you from our Discord channel. Fellas, there's an old saying among showbiz people that if you can't be good, just don't be boring. And that I like to think I follow that mantra in pretty much everything I do, honestly. But it has been on the mind a little more in preparation for this episode because I defy anyone, even the most ardent Megadeth hater, which I'm not, by the way, to just do just the slightest research into the members and their history and even what's going on with them now and not be just totally mesmerized and entertained because, oh my gosh, like everything about this band is interesting to me. Everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So the band is actually called Megadeth, not Megadeth.
Craig? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hear you fine.
Can you hear us?
Dude, I cut out for like a full minute.
Do y'all want to restart, I guess?
This is probably entertaining.
We'll keep it rolling. Stefan, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Here.
No, I was saying, have you ever heard the band referred to as Megadeth rather than Megadeth?
Absolutely. For Dave Mustaine, right?
Yeah,
the singer.
There's been so many lineup changes in the history of this band. Like it's hard to keep up with. I bet there's probably been 20 plus members. Easily.
Are they kind of Metallica's rival?
Probably not by choice, but by association, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, the whole history of Mustaine being in the band and getting kicked out and then basically going and doing his own thing. And he wrote a lot of the songs on Ride the Lightning, Metallica's second album.
In the first one, right?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Which we did.
Yes, we did.
On this very show.
Indeed.
Yeah, check it out. The Kill 'Em All episode.
Stefan, hit us with some fun facts because I don't know much about these guys at all.
Oh, well, for one thing, and more on this when we get to the album we're covering today, Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? They are super into the occult. Like, satanic worship, black magic, witchcraft. Like, they are we talked about this in our Iron Maiden episode about how some bands kind of sort of got lumped in with the whole satanic panic thing. Like Megadeth actually, like that, they are really the poster child for that whole thing.
So just
anybody
to clarify,
who looks like them,
Just to clarify, so Dave, I think, was the only one who was really into that. And it was for a brief amount of time too. I don't think he really stuck with that. But on this album, I'd say it was like the peak of that. Dabbling.
I could have sworn I saw something when I was digging into the misguided David Ellefson, the bassist.
Maybe so. Maybe.
And you see that there was still, he had some support from his bandmates. I guess we don't. You don't even have to. Mustaine is fascinating for a whole lot of reasons, though. Ellefson, though, is interesting, though, because he's like, Travis, you mentioned how this band has had so many members, and there's just like this revolving door. Ellefson, he wasn't the original bassist, right? It's like he was.
Yeah.
Was he the original bassist?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because I think him, Gar Samuelson, and Chris Poland, I think those four, and Mustaine, of course, I think that was pretty much the original lineup, like the official original lineup, and they played together for for 2 albums. Yeah, Gar Samuelson, the drummer.
Yep.
Cool name.
Indeed.
I know, right?
Was he a
Rip.
fish?
Rip Gar.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
No, it was God. It was
Was he a
Ellison who like
fish?
he got into a legal dispute with Mustaine over rights and royalties. I think it was during
Mhm.
the period of time when Mustaine had like hurt his arm somehow, and this is like the early aughts. This is about 15 years ago, I'd say. And they kicked him out then.
Yeah, he left the band for because I think it was Glenn Drover and Sean Drover, I think. There was another guy I during like the in-game tour. I can't remember the guy's name, but I remember United Abominations. He filled in on bass for a while. But yeah, sorry not to derail.
No, it's fine. I mean, because
It's hard to keep up, man.
It is, and they
So
had
many lineup changes.
I would have thought. I mean, you take the the band and its founder to court. I mean, I would just assume that's it. Then he came back with the band a few years ago, and then literally like 2 months ago, I think like his computer or his phone got hacked, and a bunch of just some raw videos of him got plastered all over Twitter, and like it's like it was like him I think he was he had recorded them at the behest of like a fan or somebody, and he's being accused of like child grooming. The fan in question is denying this. They're saying there's nothing going on there, but I mean, I guess maybe I don't know what this says. I certainly don't want to waste so much time speculating on his guilt. But Mustaine released a statement saying like, yeah, we're gonna part ways with him again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's because I think that their relationship is understandably still kind of rocky. I don't know if that has more to do with that or if it's it's like they really think he's guilty and they're just trying to save face.
I think from what I read, I think the big deal was like you said, they were already on like rough terrain, and I think the fact that because I'm pretty sure Ellison's married, and I think just the fact that he had an affair, whether the girl was underage or not, I think was all they needed to say. See ya. Yeah. Which I mean, it's got diehard fans all pissed off. They're like, how can you get rid of a founding member, blah blah blah, like
yeah,
sure. So yeah, but who knows? I think Mustaine's a pretty tough guy to deal with, I would imagine.
Oh yeah
very big personality.
Yep, big hair too.
Yeah,
very intense wig he's rocking.
Right.
I mean, again, like this is just a very long preface, but I mean, I know Mustaine and Ellison are both like born again Christians.
Right.
I mean, Ellison's like going to seminary and stuff. Like it's not some like cheap like, or at least it certainly doesn't come off that way. Like it is
especially after that Twitter leak. I bet he is.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Might not go over well.
But so this album, Peace Sells, this lineup with Gar and Chris Poland, I'd say there are a lot of fans that think this is like the all-star lineup, and then some would say the lineup for the album, 2 albums after this, Rust in Peace, which is like their magnum opus. It's Mustaine, Ellison, and then the addition of Marty Friedman and oh my gosh, Nick Menza, who passed away. But that's the dream team as well. These guys are just a little more thrashy, I would say, and with Menza and Friedman, they were a little more. Friedman comes from like that classical, like neoclassical style stuff and jazz, so maybe a little more technical with them, a little less thrashy. But this is definitely the album that put Megadeth on the radar, just for the title track alone, Peace Sells.
Yep. And it had a big music video too, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. A big MTV hit.
I think that's my favorite song on the album.
P-Cells.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, we should, I guess, get started and go
let's get
track
into
one.
it. So,
what do y'all think about Wake Up Dead?
Stefan?
Well, I mean, I wasn't wild about this song, but I do think it is a good open because this is the Megadeth sound. This is like it has all the staples that I think of with this band. And I mean, right down to the Mustaine growl he's doing. Like it's just it's all there.
Buried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Graham, what do you think about this track?
I'd heard it before, probably through you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm sure it's a popular opinion, but like, I'm not a huge fan of Dave's voice.
Oh yeah, I don't think many are.
Yeah. But you know, it's not terribly different from like the Metallica album we did in terms of like the riffage and just the style of the, you know, kick drums, and I don't know, it's thrash, right?
Yeah. So I'd have to disagree.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like we run into this a lot on like anything that we do out of what we normally listen to. Like, I feel like I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I miss a lot of like nuances and things that I don't frequently listen to. Because like to me, this is, I think it's infinitely more technical than Kill 'Em All.
Oh,
that
okay.
to me is a lot more like blues rock and just pure pentatonic stuff. This just seems way more elaborate to me.
I agree with that. Like, I was gonna say that I think my general sense has always been that Megadeth were better players.
Right. Way more technical.
Right. But like I can see how they kind of are kind of grouped together.
Right. Same genre, definitely.
Right.
Definitely. It's thrash, 100%. It just it's a lot more technical, I would say. This song, I mean, I loved this album growing up. This was probably for me like one of the most influential albums in terms of shaping my musical taste. But
yeah,
I always thought this song was just a bomb opener. Like it gives you a good indication of what the album's going to be like, and just Ellison's bass tone I always thought was really unique. He plays with a pick, and you can really hear the treble side of that. I think it's pretty pronounced on this. I love the trade-off too between Chris Poland solos and Mustaine solos, because I think there are some pretty distinctive differences in their styles. You know, I think Dave's a lot more of just kind of I'm not going to say typical, but like just more in line with a standard thrash sound. Whereas Poland, I've never heard anybody that plays the style that guy does. I don't know. But yeah, I love this song. I won't ramble anymore. I think it's an amazing opener.
Yeah.
Personally.
It works for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree. I think everyone would agree vocally that's the weakest component in anything these guys do.
It's funny you say that, though, because I love everything vocal in The Conjuring. I love Dave's double voice. I love this song.
Welcome. Yeah.
Love.
Really?
Love yeah, I had the lyrics pulled up. I had a blast listening to this song. I want to see this live.
Dude, I always felt like I was going to get in trouble, like if my parents ever found out I was listening to this song.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, there's like some seriously, like he was, I mean, he was definitely doing some like outside the box reading to know about the references to Mephisto. I mean, there's all kinds of just trippy, clicky stuff that you don't get by just like, just I don't know, getting a tattoo of the devil on your ass or something. I mean, he was
some Aleister Crowley stuff.
he was dabbling a little bit.
Yeah. He was conjuring.
It says there are some hexes in this song.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Instruction for them.
Right. It's funny too because I think the riff is just so sinister. Like everything about this song it's got sinister written all over it.
It's just evil. It's just an evil
It
song.
is.
But I love rooting for the villain, so I had a blast on this song.
Dude, it's pure evil.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I'm thinking back to the Metallica record, and it definitely didn't have like this kind of like a Black Sabbath-y thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the ominous,
Oh yeah,
kind of the darker side of metal. Where Metallica, it's almost just like angry and like
angsty.
Yeah.
More punkish.
Yeah,
like punkish thrash.
Way more of kind of the mystical and like fantasy and
right, more in line with like Maiden lyrics. I think.
Sure.
I mean, not like. I guess there's some historical stuff, but this is just it's so dark.
Way harsher than Maiden, I think. I think Maiden's way more approachable for like the casual fan than something like this.
Right.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of that main riff? The like, it like the. I love it, dude. It's just like a little. I don't know. Like a little dance.
If I had heard this when I was like, still like trying to learn electric guitar, I mean, this would be like playing nonstop. I mean, if you're into guitar or particularly like metal electric guitar, I mean, this is just crack for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's, probably as good as it gets for metal riffage.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
I know. And this album too, like Gar, I mean, granted he wasn't around for long, but like just the just like riding the bell on that ride, just with the double bass.
I'm glad you mentioned that because he kind of I had to go back through it to really appreciate him because he did not he was really, I thought, kind of overshadowed by the other three on this album.
Yeah, he plays tight, man.
Yeah.
Did you notice two things in this song that I thought were really odd? There's a lot of blues riffs towards the end.
Really?
Like real bluesy sounding, which I thought was such a weird, like, kind of like a juxtaposition to everything earlier on.
That is strange for like a satanic song.
Like a real dark song, and then it's like to throw in some of those little like bluesy riffs and licks. I'm like, okay, interesting choice. And then there's also this weird vocal effect too on Dave's voice.
I'm hearing that.
Yeah, and
like I don't. Flanger.
Yeah, it's some weird. I can't put my finger on it, but
yeah, it's like a flanger, or like a. That's what comes to mind for me. A phaser,
right? Yeah.
I don't really remember the blues licks. You mean at the very end?
Yeah. So try, like, if you're listening to it. Here, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Let's see. Start around. Let me see here. Like 233, 230.
Okay.
And just see, I thought those were real bluesy sounding riffs.
I didn't pick up on that. It totally makes sense though, given what's coming on the backside of this album. Track number 7, which I don't want to spoil that, but I was laughing my ass off when I started reading about that song.
Instant skip.
Yeah.
Really?
Dude,
we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get to that side of the album. But okay.
That's always been my knock on it.
Okay.
Do you hear what I'm talking about, Graham? Kind of ish.
A little bit. It kind of reminds me of like Motorhead or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know. This is.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm kind of. I was interested to hear y'all's thoughts on this one. I had a blast on this song.
On The Conjuring.
Yes.
So interestingly enough, when I saw them in Belgium in 2018, that was the first time they played The Conjuring in I think like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
I read that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was shocked to hear that. Like I was there with a buddy of mine, and I heard that intro riff, and I was like, "No way!"
Crowd will ape it.
Said, "Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, ballistic." But so next track, title track, Peace Sells. Graham, you said this was your favorite.
It's up there. I think partly just because of that riff. I think that's a great intro riff.
By the bass.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one that you used to play back in the day.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It definitely instantly brings up some nostalgia.
Right. Yeah, I it's not one I listen to often just because I'm not going to say it was overplayed on the radio because it's just silly, but kind of for me. Like,
yeah.
You know, I just listened to it. It drove it into the ground. I mean, it's a great song, though. There's a lot of different parts and whatnot. And it's cool.
I can kind of see how it would get worn out. Like, it doesn't have quite like the complexity as some of the others. It's like the pop song on the album, if there is one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Megadeth's Inner Sandman. I'm probably going to get crucified for that, but
yeah, you can't be doing that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
As much as I've heard the song, Chris Poland's outro solo in the song is amazing. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So this came out in 86?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Pretty wild how guitar evolved like so quickly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like some of their stuff reminds me of like Eddie Van Halen, just kind of like the use of the whammy bar and just kind of the shredding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was only, that Van Halen album came out in like 78 or 79, I think.
Right.
And then you went to this, where I feel like these guys kind of took it to a different level.
Right.
Or a different place. Like, they're both impressive, Van Halen and these dudes. Do you think that there was some competition in Mustaine's mind, like after getting kicked out of Metallica? And
oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. He was
he was on a mission to prove.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a better band.
I kind of like that, and I feel like I've always kind of like, even though I'm not a big metal guy, I'm like I always kind of root for like the underdog,
right?
And I feel like Megadeth maybe fits that.
I definitely respect the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, yeah, he could play circles around Hetfield and Hammett.
Yeah.
I mean, in situations.
Sure. They all have their own thing.
The king of the down picking.
Yeah.
I
remember being pleasantly surprised by musicianship on that first Metallica album.
Yeah, he's a hell of a writer too. But I mean, so is Dave. I mean, he pretty much writes everything.
Yeah.
He's got some, and like I said, if we ever check out Rust in Peace, that I think y'all would both like that infinitely more than this.
I've heard some songs off of that.
Yeah.
And I think I know what you're saying.
Right.
I was going to ask, like, where does this rank for you? I mean, you said the fan base is kind of split between this one and Rust in Peace being the masterpiece.
Yeah. I would say, oh man, that's so hard to choose.
Yeah.
it depends on the day for me. I couldn't pick one or the other.
Sure.
Because they're both great for different reasons.
Right.
This is a little more, I'd say, pure thrash.
Yeah.
A little more hardcore, whereas that's so much more polished.
Yeah.
So the next song, Devil's Island.
I was bracing myself to not like this one. I thought they were going to lean into the devil theme again and kind of go back to that well after The Conjuring. I was like, this is going to be a little underwhelming. But I was kind of, I mean, it's not one of my favorite songs off the album, but I was pleasantly surprised by this one.
It's a great intro.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty epic.
This is my favorite song on the album.
Really?
This is probably a top 3 favorite Megadeth song for me.
Nice.
I just love the riff, man. It's just such classic thrash. You know,
it's a good jam.
Oh man, the speed and just the solos in it, and I actually like Dave's voice on it too.
Yeah,
it fits.
I would say this is one of the stronger tracks for me.
And dude, it just Poland solos in this too. The final solo is just awesome. I love too when Dave's like final judgment, and then it just rips into the solo.
I feel like awesome. the chorus. I don't know what it is, but that's such like a. I feel like a metal song thing, like the way they sing that chorus.
It's like this song is the definition of thrash.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
I get the appeal. Like, I've just never been like a huge metal guy, but like this is solid, heavy stuff.
And Devil's Island, I don't know if y'all read any backstory on it. I guess it was like a prisoner camp in France.
It was a penal colony.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's entirely what it's about.
Yeah, there's also like I don't know if y'all checked out the lyrical content much. There's actually like a strangely like a Christian vibe from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like there's the narrative is about like the guy with like a priest and he's awaiting judgment. There's a lot of very
right.
It's certainly not like like a conversion song or anything, but there's a lot of religious aspects to this song.
Right.
And I thought I was really surprised by that, given Mustaine's current stance on Christianity. I thought that was certainly a little foreshadowing for you.
Yeah, the lyrics, but so it did. The heavens opened, rain began to fall. The final judgment came. It was spread before you all.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Got a guy on an island prison.
Yeah.
Filled with regret.
What'd y'all think of Good Morning Black Friday?
I was surprised by this one. The opening being just very, very slow by comparison. When they hit the verses with that guitar riff and the Mustaine's growl, this was like, oh yeah, this is the guy who created Metallica. This is the guy. Like this is where this song was where the similarities were the strongest for me. I didn't get a ton off this album, but this song is where it was kind of a slap in the face that, oh yeah, it's the same guy.
I do get strong Metallica vibes in the intro.
Yeah. Definitely super sinister. That kind of clean, I don't know.
Yeah, down to the guitar tone, clean tone. It's kind of the flangey. I don't know, but so many metal songs seem to use that tone.
Right. Yeah, I think these guys, and obviously Metallica. Well, I guess Dave is probably the main person responsible for that. But like, there are a couple Metallica songs that come to mind, like with that clean, like the early stuff, clean tone. Like I think the Call of Cthulhu off the second Metallica album, Ride the Lightning. I think Dave wrote that, and it sounds a lot like that. Like real clean intro. But yeah, the lyrics are pretty crazy in Black Friday.
I know.
It's just like a complete like slaughter fest.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I laughed a little bit when I saw that was
right. I saw on the Wikipedia something about like it was just about like some serial killer going on like a murder spree. But I remember like when I was really into this album like 15 years ago, I remembered reading something about like Black Friday was some kind of like satanic holiday. I could be totally wrong, but like something about this song having to do with like some guy carrying out some rituals pertaining to that. I don't know.
Didn't they wasn't
weird?
Was some guy named Caruthers, I think, who was the drummer before Samuelson?
Let me see.
I feel like I went on a deep rabbit hole thing on
you might be right, man.
His occultism, and I think that guy, the original drummer,
Dijon.
Oh my god, is that really his name?
Dijon Mustard Caruthers.
Yeah. I think it was a Caruthers, like friends or acquaintances or somebody that got Dave super into black magic. And God, I've got some articles in my favorites bar, and like, God, he is like super remorseful about all that now.
Yeah, I'm looking at Killing Is My Business, which is their first album, and it's Mustaine, Ellefson, Chris Poland, and Samuelson. So maybe Caruthers was like on some of the demo tapes. Maybe he's a founding member that played live before they popped out an album. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do y'all like this track?
Yes, I love this track.
Good Morning. I think it's okay. Not one of my favorites, but I think it was a cool change of pace. I thought, especially after Devil's Island.
Sure. Yeah.
Dude, even within the song though, like the end is so fast. Like that riff, I can't even do it. It's so stupid fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a lot of changes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Some pretty nasty sounding chords in it too. Like in that intro part. Just so dark. I don't know. This album just feels so grimy to me. Like what a dark thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This I hadn't really been scared by an album in a while. And frankly, Good Morning and Bad Omen were really enough to kind of like make me look over my shoulder. Like Bad Omen scared the hell out of me.
That's a weird one. And that was one I would agree, like when I first heard this album growing up, like that song kind of scared me a little bit. It made me feel uncomfortable.
It gets real heavy in the like the occultish, Satan worship language. I mean, really like real heavy-handed with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do think that, I mean, great art is the kind of stuff that, it stays in your mind. And I mean, this song certainly did that.
Right.
So, I mean, mission accomplished from that.
That always turned me off about that track. Like, The Conjuring, Black Friday, and Bad Omen, I always was like, I feel like, I was young, but I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't be listening to these songs.
As you've got candles going in your room.
Yeah. And my parents, what's going on up there?
A Ouija board.
Right. Yeah, for real. Dude, there's some crazy fast riffs in this song now.
This thing, yeah, it just keeps speeding up the whole time.
Mhm.
Like, the tempo is out of control.
It's one of the lower points for me in the album.
Oh, but is it worse than I Ain't Superstitious?
That didn't even count. That's not even. I
Are
wouldn't
we not
include
going
it
to
in the
talk
track
about
listing.
this? Are y'all
Oh,
just going to leave me to ramble
no,
about the song by my
no,
lonesome?
we're talking about it.
Okay, good.
Dude,
Okay.
my notes on this is cannot stand this track.
This is a cover.
I know.
It is.
I know.
It is. And it's not the only one either.
Dude, did you listen to the These Boots Are Made for Walking cover by them?
Yes. Yes, I do.
No. Is that
Good.
on this?
No, it's not.
That's the 25th anniversary album.
What's the other cover on this album?
No, that's the only cover on this album. But These Boots Are Made for Walking, I think that was on Killing Is My Business. I think that's on their first album.
And then it's on the 25th anniversary one on the.
Well, there are a lot of songs on the 25th anniversary that are from the first album.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like live clips and reissues, and yeah, these Boots is track 4 on the first album. Yeah,
I think the guy who wrote that, Lee Hazelwood, has like sued them a couple times to try and get some of the money from it because I think their version became really, really popular.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, I would not expect that.
I know. I would expect that way more than I think of like Megadeth, covering a song by Willie Dixon, who's like from the Cab Calloway, Duke Ellington era of blues music.
Well, yeah, it's a song written by Willie Dixon and recorded by Howlin' Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like it's been covered by like Jeff Beck and all those like British Invasion guys that were playing blues stuff. I know Led Zeppelin covered a Willie Dixon song or kind of ripped one off. Might be Whole Lot of Love or Bring It On Home, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I first heard that name. But yeah, kind of a weird one. I guess the themes in it kind of work for this album, but musically it sounds kind of goofy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This came off. I think they did. Boots Are Made for Walking, like almost as a joke, basically.
I hope so.
And that's what I thought listening to this song. It's like they're just fucking.
Yeah.
They're just having a good time. They're just.
It's Max Cheeseball for me.
Yeah.
It is.
It almost pisses me off because it's like, dude, what a blemish on this album.
Yeah, I know.
For me personally, it irritates me to no end.
Spell, man.
Yeah, I would not I would literally listen to this album straight through, and that track would come on, and I'd get so mad because I love the final track, and it was just like, God, man, I don't want to have to press next.
Yeah,
dude. Same thing though so the album that follows this, So Far So Good So What, they cover Anarchy in the UK, and that should piss me off too.
Oh man,
I'm like, God,
that's kind of their thing, I guess. They always do a cover.
Just I don't know. It shouldn't be their thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I recall they did a Zeppelin cover one time, Out on the Tiles. Don't they have a version of that? It's weird.
I'm not gonna lie. I've probably repressed any listens to any covers of theirs.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why.
Is there, Travis? You're like an actual fan. Like, is there a section of the fan base for Megadeth, that loves I Ain't Superstitious and like loves the covers?
I've never met one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never.
By the way, you mentioned seeing them live.
Mm-hmm.
As a true fan, were they good live?
I've seen them. That was my third time I think I've seen them, and musicianship wise, yes, absolutely. But dude, from let me see. Can y'all still hear me?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you cut out for a second for me.
Sorry, somebody started calling me.
No, you're good.
Dave's voice, man. You know, he just got past throat cancer. He's been dealing with all that. So like when I saw him in 2018, everything was tuned down to D standard because everything was typically done in just regular standard E tuning, but he can't hit those notes. Like I'd say late 90s is when it all started going downhill, and then it got really bad. So yeah, I mean they're good live, but
yeah,
I'm supposed to be seeing them August 21st. Actually,
sweet.
We'll see how that goes. Seeing them with Lamb of God.
Ah,
Oh my God!
another band of the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. I'm seeing them. I can't wait.
I love that episode.
I know.
Not to smell our own farts, but I heard that one recently. I love that. That's a fun album to cover.
Dude, there's just something rewarding about smelling your own farts.
There is. There is.
You know?
That's
it's
fair.
like, man, I produced that. So what y'all think of the closer?
I love it. This might be my my favorite song off the album.
Yeah. It's up there.
I always thought of this as like Dave's masterpiece because I think Dave wrote the whole thing. I think he plays all the solos in this. Like it's his baby, and it's a great song.
Yeah, I think I think Mustaine's singing sounds really good on this song.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Yeah, I thought this was a strong closer.
Yep.
I did notice it was like not available on the non-remastered version.
Yeah.
I had to go to the 25th anniversary version.
I don't know what's up with that because so the version that we listened to, Graham, I think is the 04 remaster.
Okay.
And I don't know why it got pulled off of Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. There's got to be some kind of dispute.
I know it's always strange when there's like a track or two missing,
right.
Or they're just like they're like faded. Where the rest of the tracks are like in bold, meaning you can play them.
Right.
I love the intro.
I
love the intro of this track. It's very
the guitars. It's so cool.
I know. Yeah. It just rips into that riff. I think this one, it's about Russian roulette, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. This might be my favorite track on the album.
It's great, man.
I loved it.
I think it's the most, this sounds dumb since it's about Russian roulette, but I think it's the most like lighthearted song on the album.
Yeah. I kind of did too. It wasn't nearly as negative as what the rest of the songs were. At least in terms of musically, at least. I mean, I felt in a pretty good mood.
Did that riff? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Did that riff remind you of the Joker and the Thief?
Dude, I always wondered if like they borrowed like some influence from this for that.
I could see that.
It's like a sped up. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the solo in this too. It's just
yeah. I was reading a list of like people's favorite Megadeth solos, and this was on the list for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's probably Dave's best, I would say.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. This is Lars Ulrich's favorite Mustaine song, I guess.
He's publicly spoken about that.
Yep, which is funny because Dave talks mad shit about Lars.
Yeah, he does. He freaking hates Lars.
Hates him, dude. Hates
him.
It's like not like I kind of respect how not veiled his dislike of him is.
Is that the main
thing? Like he's not a good drummer, and everybody knows it.
Is that the main rival, or is he just pretty much enemies with anybody in Metallica?
He probably doesn't have any beef with Robert Trujillo since that guy wasn't around at the time.
Yeah.
I think him and Cliff Burton, though, were on good terms.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure, though, Kirk, there's some sentiment there.
Well, you showed us a video one time of like Dave playing with Metallica.
Right.
It was just very awkward, like kind of their body language and
right. I know it always seeing that it just struck me as like, oh man, there's three like extroverted people and there's hella introverted Dave just awkwardly like, yeah. It's just like it's like bringing a kid up on stage to play and the kid like shreds better than the actual guitarist of the band.
Oh yeah, I think that happened to Bruce Springsteen of all people.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I would like
awesome
to see that.
Yeah,
oh, no.
I need to see that clip.
I mean, Bruce is not I don't think of really him as a guitarist. But,
no, he's not even the lead player in the band.
Shred Lord.
Huh?
I said he's a shred lord.
Oh, he is.
Spring shred.
Blonde telly.
Oh, man. Well, what'd you guys think overall?
Stefan?
I would give this a 7 out of 10.
All right.
I think, there's, I don't know. It's not always the most pleasant album to listen to, but I do factor in that is the point. Mustaine's voice, it is kind of more miss than hit for me, but there's enough like just kookery and craziness on this album. I'm the kind of guy that can get behind that, so I gotta score it higher because of that alone. And yeah, and strong and good opener and great closer, and that always goes a long way.
Right. Graham?
I was gonna say 6. Like it's I mean, one thing that is good is that it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like I feel like some of the tracks kind of blend together for me, but it's okay because it's such like a short album.
Right. Yeah, 40.
I think that was a good move, and it's just some solid, heavy, technical. If nothing else, like I enjoyed the musicianship.
Right.
It's not really like my style, so I'm not going to give it a 7. But I'm
for sure.
I'm glad we've done some like classic metal albums, and I'm kind of getting a feel. I don't know if I liked it
more than Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't expect.
Yeah. I could see that.
I would kind of have to go back to do a side-by-side comparison, but
right.
I feel like I was more into Kill 'Em All.
I would be curious if you listened to Ride the Lightning, which is Metallica's second album, and this is Megadeth's second album, how you would compare those two.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should do that
at some point. I'd be for sure down. Sweet. Well, yeah, I'd have to go with. I'd give it an 8.
Okay.
And I'd scored an 8.5, but I Ain't Superstitious just absolutely destroys that. Just trash. Pure trash.
Yeah.
But no, I love the album. A solid 8 for me.
Sweet.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts on
does Craig have anything here?
Old bot Craig.
We'll do a follow-up about this. Good luck to Megadeth on their upcoming tour. Well, if that's all we got. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to like, subscribe, share this episode. We are 3 different ones, and we'll see you next time.